That tiny Lincoln penny in your change might be telling a bigger story. Today we're looking at 3 cents collectors still search for, and the details that can separate common coins from valuable errors. The 1984 Lincoln penny is one of those coins that many people ignore because it looks too modern. It does not have the wheat reverse. It does not have the heavier copper weight of older cents. And at first glance, it may seem like just another copper-colored penny from the 1980s. But collectors know the 1984 Lincoln cent has a special reason to be checked carefully. By 1984, the U.S. Mint had already moved fully into the copper-plated zinc era. A normal 1984 Lincoln penny weighs about 2.50 grams and has a zinc core covered with a thin copper layer. That weight is important because if the coin weighs far more or less, it may point to damage, plating problems, or possibly a wrong planchet error. The front of the coin shows Abraham Lincoln, while the reverse shows the Lincoln Memorial. This memorial design was used from 1959 to 2008, and collectors inspect it closely for strike quality, die cracks, and surface issues. But the most famous reason collectors look at 1984 pennies is the possibility of a doubled ear variety. On some 1984 Lincoln cents, doubling can appear around Lincoln's ear, making it look like there is an extra ear detail or a doubled shape near the ear area. This is one of those varieties that can be easy to miss if you're not looking closely. To most people, it is just Lincoln's portrait. To collectors, that tiny area can become the most important part of the coin. Imagine someone searching through a roll of pennies from the bank. Coin after coin looks normal. Then a 1984 cent appears under magnification, and Lincoln's ear does not look right. There is an extra line, an unusual shape, something that makes the collector stop. That moment is exactly why people still search modern pennies. Other errors can also make a 1984 penny interesting. An off-center strike can shift the design and leave part of the coin blank. A clipped planchet can show the curved missing area along the edge. A struck-through error can create weak letters or missing details if debris blocked the die during striking. Because the 1984 penny is copper-plated zinc, collectors also watch for plating issues. Bubbles, splits, peeling, and exposed zinc can appear. Some are common and not especially valuable, but dramatic mint-made plating errors can make a coin more collectible. A wrong planchet error would be far rarer. If a 1984 penny was struck on a blank mint for another coin, the weight, size, or thickness would not match the standard 2.50 grams. This type of error needs professional authentication. Condition is also very important. A 1984 penny with heavy scratches, corrosion, or damage is usually not worth much. But a clean, bright red example with a strong doubled ear, clear surfaces, and professional certification can become much more desirable. If you find a 1984 Lincoln penny, start by checking Lincoln's ear. Use magnification if possible. Then check the date, rim, memorial reverse, color, edge, and weight. Look for doubling, off-center strike, clipped planchet, plating issues, die cracks, or struck-through details. Most 1984 pennies are common, but the right variety or mint error can make this coin much more interesting than ordinary pocket change. The 1984 Lincoln penny teaches collectors a simple lesson. The valuable clue is not always big. Sometimes it is hiding in one tiny detail on Lincoln's portrait, a detail most people never even think to inspect. The 1982 Lincoln penny is one of the most important modern pennies in American coin collecting. It looks simple, but this year is not simple at all. In fact, 1982 is one of the most confusing and exciting years for Lincoln cent collectors because the penny changed in more than one way. This was the year the U.S. Mint transitioned from the older bronze cent to the newer copper-plated zinc cent. Before the change, Lincoln pennies were made mostly of copper and weighed about 3.11 grams. After the change, the new zinc cents weighed about 2.50 grams. That means a 1982 penny cannot be judged quickly. You have to check the weight. You have to check the date style. You have to check whether it has a mint mark. And sometimes, one small difference can change the entire story. The 1982 Lincoln penny can appear as either a large date or a small date variety. The difference may look minor to beginners, but collectors study it carefully. The shapes of the numbers, especially the 2, help identify which version it is. Some 1982 pennies have no mint mark from Philadelphia, while others have a D mint mark from Denver. This is where the mystery begins. The most famous 1982 penny story involves transitional errors. During the copper to zinc change, a few coins were struck on planchets that did not match what they were supposed to be. The most legendary example is the 1982 D small date copper alloy cent, which is famous because it should not have existed in normal production. For collectors, the key is weight. If a 1982 penny weighs around 2.50 grams, it is usually the zinc version. If it weighs around 3.11 grams, it is the heavier copper alloy version. But the rare combinations are what collectors chase. Imagine someone sitting at a table with a pile of 1982 pennies. Most people would never separate them, but a serious coin hunter places each one on a digital scale. One reads 2.50 grams. Another reads 2.51 grams. Then one reads close to 3.11 grams. Suddenly, that penny is not just pocket change anymore. It is a question. Is it the right date style? Is it Denver? Is it small date? Could it be a transitional error? That is why the 1982 penny is so exciting. Errors on 1982 pennies can also include off-center strikes, clipped planchets, double die features, die cracks, and wrong planchet strikes. Zinc cents can also show plating bubbles, peeling, or exposed zinc, but collectors must be careful because not every plating issue is valuable. A true double die should show real design, doubling in areas like the date, Liberty, or In God We Trust. A clipped planchet may show a curved, missing section along the rim. An off-center strike may show part of the design shifted away from the center. Condition matters too. A rare variety in poor condition may still be interesting, but a clean, sharp, certified example is always stronger. Copper examples with original red color can be especially desirable because copper naturally darkens over time. If you find a 1982 Lincoln penny, do not throw it aside. First, check the date style, large date or small date. Then check for AD mint mark. Then weigh it carefully. Compare 2.50 grams for zinc and 3.11 grams for copper. After that, inspect the surfaces for doubling, clipping, off-center design, plating problems, die cracks, or unusual color. Most 1982 pennies are common, but the right combination of date style, mint mark, weight, and error can make this year one of the most exciting Lincoln cents to search. The 1982 penny proves one powerful lesson. Sometimes the biggest value in coin collecting is not hidden in age. It is hidden in a transition. The 2016 D Lincoln penny is the kind of coin most people would never stop to inspect. It looks modern, common, and almost too ordinary to matter. You might find it in pocket change, a coin jar, a bankroll, or at the bottom of a car cup holder. Most people see the date, see the copper color, and move on. But collectors know that even a modern penny can hide a mistake. The small D mint mark under the date tells us this coin was struck at the Denver Mint. Denver produced large numbers of Lincoln cents for circulation, and most 2016 D pennies are common. But when millions of coins are produced, even modern minting machines can let unusual pieces slip through. A normal 2016 D Lincoln penny is made from copper-plated zinc and weighs about 2.50 grams. This weight is important because modern pennies are not mostly copper like older cents. After 1982, U.S. cents became lighter with a zinc core and a thin copper coating. So if a 2016 D penny weighs far from 2.50 grams, collectors begin asking questions. Was it struck on the wrong planchet? Is the plating missing? Is the coin damaged? Or is it a real mint error? The reverse of the 2016 D penny shows the Union Shield, a design introduced in 2010. The shield represents national unity, and its strong vertical lines make it a good place to search for errors. Collectors look closely at the shield lines, the lettering, the rim, Lincoln's portrait, the date, and the mint mark. One possible error is an off-center strike. This happens when the blank planchet is not properly centered between the dies. The design shifts, and part of the coin may remain blank. If the date and demint mark are still visible, the coin becomes much more interesting. Another error to check is a plating error. Since the coin has a zinc core covered by a thin copper layer, the plating can sometimes bubble, split, peel, or expose the zinc underneath. Some plating issues are common, but dramatic examples can attract collector attention if they are clearly mint-made. A struck-through error can also appear. This happens when grease, debris, or small metal fragments get between the die and the planchet. The result may be weak letters, missing details, or strange flat areas. On a 2016 D penny, collectors should inspect Lincoln's face, the date, the mint mark, and the shield. The rarest possibility is a wrong planchet error. If a 2016 D penny was struck on a blank mint for another denomination or even another coin series, the weight, size, or thickness would not match the normal 2.50 grams. This type of coin should always be professionally authenticated. Condition also matters. A scratched or dirty 2016 D penny is usually just pocket change, but a clean, bright red coin with sharp details and a real mint error can become much more collectible. High-grade coins with strong eye appeal always attract more attention than damaged examples. So if you find a 2016 D Lincoln penny, do not ignore it too quickly. Check the D mint mark. Study the shield, rim, date, and color. Weigh it against 2.50 grams. Look for off-center design, plating problems, die cracks, struck-through areas, or wrong planchet clues. Most 2016 D pennies are only worth face value, but the right error, strong condition, and professional certification can turn an ordinary modern cent into a coin worth saving.